So children, here we are with some basic concepts of chemistry. Hello students, how are you? So basic concepts of chemistry. You must have heard of the subject chemistry in your lower classes also. So what is the meaning of this word chemistry? What does it mean? What do you study actually in the subject of chemistry? So it is a branch of science basically which deals with matter and chemical properties and the physical changes it undergoes under different conditions. Okay, that is a definition of chemistry. But if you go to see the key words in this, it is talking about the study of matter. What is matter? Matter is anything that has mass and that occupies space. So around you, you see a lot of matter. So basically it is a study of matter. That means it's a study of everything around you. So, and it deals with the chemical properties, physical changes, chemical changes that undergo under different conditions, right? So, if you say water, if you heat it, what happens? It converts to vapor. Huh? And if you condense it, it converts to, it forms water again, right? So, around you, whatever you see, the water you drink, the food you eat, basically, that's all matter, and the study of matter around you is called chemistry. So basically, chemistry is a very broad study, broad science, that is study of everything around you. So it is a central science. It's a central science. What do you mean by central science? That means without chemistry, nothing is possible. So if you go to study physics without chemistry, is it possible? No. Physics, what do you study? You study about forces, you study about work, you study about energy, you study about the various changes that are occurring, physical changes that are occurring around you, electricity, magnetism, whatever you study in physics, that is actually made up of atoms and molecules of the matter. So physics cannot be studied without chemistry, right? Then biology that you study, if you see your human body is made up of what? Carbohydrate, protein, fats, DNA, RNA, all these are what? They are all made up of atoms and molecules. Again, it is chemistry. Earth and space science. If you study earth and space science, what is it made up of? It is made up again atoms and molecules. And study of these atom and molecules, study of matter is chemistry. Then applied sciences, the industries you see around, the drugs, the medicines, the textile, pharmaceuticals. So whatever industries you see around is the application of chemistry, right? So chemistry is a central science. Without chemistry, the study of science is incomplete or not possible. Hmm? If you talk about applied science, that means you talk about dentistry, you talk about medicines, you talk about agriculture, you talk about engineering. So everything around you is chemistry. So basically, chemistry is a very important subject and a very important study. Now, in the subject of chemistry, there are branches. In the Department of Chemistry, we go to see there are branches: organic chemistry, inorganic chemistry, physical chemistry, biochemistry, analytical chemistry. Now, what is organic chemistry? Organic chemistry is a study of carbon and its compounds. So, it's basically the study of carbon and its compounds. Inorganic chemistry is a study of rest of the elements. So in the periodic table, you see how many elements, 118 elements or 120 elements are there. So their study, except carbon, if you consider all the other elements, their study is inorganic chemistry. Okay. Now what is physical chemistry? Physical chemistry is basically any reaction that is undergoing. It has some speed. Yeah. Either some reactions, they happen immediately. You mix two things, the reaction happens, while some reactions are very slow. So there are certain laws, certain fundamentals, certain principles governing the chemical reactions. Certain reactions, heat is produced. In certain other reactions, heat is absorbed. Exothermic reaction, endothermic reaction. Certain reactions, they occur by passing current in it, and certain reactions produce current. So it is basically the forces, the ideas, the principles, the fundamentals behind the reactions, behind any chemical changes is studied in the topic of physical chemistry. Then biochemistry. Our human body, as I told you, is also made up of molecules. and eating food to all the processes that are happening in our body are the chemical reactions. So basically, biochemistry is a study of these life processes, these biomolecules. Okay, so basically that is biochemistry. Now, what is analytical chemistry? In analytical chemistry, what happens is, suppose piece a piece of a substance is given to you, and you have to find out what it is. How will you find out? You have to do the analysis qualitatively, quantitatively, work it out, do some reactions with it, find the weight of it, and then you come to know this is made up of how much and what is the composition of it. So basically, in the analytical chemistry, you study about quantitative measurements, qualitative study reactions, and to find out, to analyze and find out what all is present in a substance. Okay, how much is present in the substance. So basically, the qualitative and quantitative studies is done. Analysis of a substance is studied in the analytical chemistry. Okay, so how many branches of chemistry are there? 5 branches: organic, inorganic, physical, biochemistry, and analytical chemistry. Okay, so initially I told you whatever around you is matter. So what is matter? Anything that has mass, that occupies space, is called matter. So whatever things are around you are matter. Now these matter are of two types. Either they are pure substances or they are mixtures. So pure substances, when that means they will be pure, they will contain only one type of substance. There will be no impurity in it, there will be no adulteration in it. So these are pure substances. Now pure substances are again of two types: elements and compounds. So simplest form of which a pure substance is made up of are called elements. And elements combine to form compounds. So basically, if you see, what is matter, we said anything that has mass and occupies space is called matter. Then matter is of two types: pure substance and mixtures. What are pure substances? The substance which are in pure form, they don't contain any adulteration, they are made up of one kind of substance, are pure substance. Now pure substances are again of two types: elements and compounds. So elements are basically the simplest form of which a pure substance is made up of. The simplest form of which a pure substance is made up of is element. Then elements are of three kinds: metals, non-metals, and metalloids. Now what are metals and what are non-metals and what are metalloids? Metals are basically the hard in texture, they have luster, they are sonorous. If you beat it, it produces sound. Then it is malleable, they can be spread into sheets. Then they are ductile, they may be turned into wires, and they are good conductor of heat and electricity. Then non-metals. Examples of metals are iron, copper, zinc, aluminium, mercury. These are all metals. Then what are non-metals? Non-metals are non-sonorous. They don't show malleability. They don't show ductility. They don't produce sound when you hit it. And they exist in the powdery form. For example, coal, charcoal, sulfur, then chlorine, bromine, iodine, they are all non-metals. Then metalloids. Metalloids are having some properties of non-metals and certain other properties of metals. Like for example, tin, arsenic, they are all metalloids. Okay. So these are the simplest form of which a pure substance is made up of. Then compounds. What are compounds? Compounds are made up of the elements. So elements combine in fixed ratio to form compound. For example, if you take water, water is H2O. So it is made up of 2 grams of H and 18 grams of and 16 grams of uh, 16 grams of oxygen. So they combine in the ratio and they form water. So when I say water, what comes in our mind? H2O. That means 2 grams of hydrogen and 16 grams of oxygen. So 1:8 ratio, hydrogen and oxygen combine to form water. Okay. So these compounds are what? Compounds are formed by the combination of elements in the fixed ratio. Then you have mixture. Mixture is what? Mixture is when you mix two or more substances in any ratio. For example, if I mix iron and sulfur together, then what happens? Just mix them. No need to heat, just physically mix them. Then what happens? Mixture is formed. Okay. So, and if I bring in the mixture, if I bring again a magnet near it, what will happen? The iron particles will stick on the magnet. That means the two components of the which the mixture is made up of can be separated physically. Okay. Then mixture is of two types, homogeneous and heterogeneous. If I mix two things, let's say if I mix salt and water and I shake it, I stir it, I get a homogeneous mixture. So what is meaning of the homogeneous mixture? That means the two things get soluble and it gives a uniform composition. So when the mixture is having a uniform composition, uniformly the two components get distributed among each other, then it is called homogeneous mixture. While heterogeneous mixtures are also made up of two components, two or more components, but here in heterogeneous what happens? They don't mix with each other uniformly. The two layers can be visible. For example, if I mix oil and water, what happens? The two distinct layers are seen. So it is heterogeneous. So as I said, pure substances and mixture. Pure substances have definite chemical composition, while mixtures do not have any definite chemical composition. While pure substances, they have always same properties regardless of origin. Okay, so when I am saying pure metal, it will be pure. Distilled water, it will be pure. So wherever this metal can be obtained, howsoever metal can be obtained by whichever procedure, the pure metal is going to be the metal, pure metal only. Then here mixture, there is no definite property. So paint can be the mixture of oil, concrete, additive, pigments. So you can mix anything and prepare paint. So paint is a common term. Mixtures are the common terms, while pure substances are the specific terms. Okay, so as we said, elements are the pure substances which cannot be broken down into further simpler forms. They are of three types: metals, non-metals, and metalloids. So metals, what did we say? See here, I have given a picture of metal here. They have luster, they are shiny. Then they conduct electricity and heat. They can be drawn into wires, so they are ductile. They can be hammered into thin sheets, so they are malleable. And for example, gold, silver, copper, iron. Okay. Which metal is a liquid metal? Mercury is a liquid metal at room temperature. So non-metals have no luster. They accept diamond and iodine. They are poor conductors of electricity and heat. Except graphite. Cannot be hammered into sheet or drawn into wires. So they are non-malleable, non-ductile, and they are brittle. So the examples are iodine, nitrogen, carbon, sulfur, etc. Then metalloids are the property elements that have properties intermediate of metal and non-metal. They are called metalloids. For example, arsenic, silicon, and germanium. Okay. So compound mixtures can be divided into two kinds: homogeneous mixtures and heterogeneous mixtures. So here you see the homogeneous mixture, orange juice. The orange juice is dispersed. Orange is dispersed in water uniformly. Okay. So this is homogeneous mixture. While heterogeneous mixture, anything. Here you are mixed the different types of dry foods, jam, and this is heterogeneous mixture. Okay, clear? Thank you.